registry of them. So the troubling part is that, yeah, the Boston Logan incident is disturbing. There are two military bases in New Jersey that had things flying too close to them, drones. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio had to close its airspace on Friday night because of drone activity. It's not people using them where they should be used. It's people using them where it shouldn't be used.
Right, and then there's the guy who was arrested. He was on his way back to China, and he was arrested for allegedly flying a drone over Vandenberg Space Force Base here in California.
Yeah, and so what is the purpose here? That somebody gathering intelligence or pictures or something, or is it just 1,000 goofy operators with 1,000 drones flying at night? We don't know.
Well, and here's the thing that's sort of interesting too, because they're saying, they've just always been there. Is it just that it's on our radar? It's like when you drive down the road after you buy a car and all of a sudden you see your model of car.
I think there's something to that. So one person shoots video of what they believe is a drone flying around, and they post that on X, and somebody says, yeah, I've seen something like that. They take a picture, or they capture a video of a drone, or maybe a Cessna 152 that they mistake for a drone, and they post that, and then another person sees something. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of that their friends tell two friends kind of situation.
Well, I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but there's a lot of people clamoring, lawmakers, that Schumer wants it, and Kathy Hochul in New York. They're all saying, you've got to let us know what's going on, and then Trump is saying, shoot him down.
Yeah, well, telling the government to shoot him down. I assume in the same way that the Air Force shot down a spy balloon, a Chinese balloon last year, I guess it was, off the Atlantic coast, and I assume that's what he's talking about, but there are some folks in New Jersey who are saying, I've got a gun, I'll go ahead and shoot it down myself. Well, you can't do that. That's illegal.
Not a great idea.
No, don't do that. So, but Schumer is calling for some equipment to be brought in. FAA has these sensors that they use at airports to track birds. It's crucial to keep tabs on birds that are flying around at airports for air safety. So maybe redeploy that to find little drones, find out who's operating them, and bring this to an end.
Yeah. And then I was watching the Sunday shows, and I don't remember which one he was on, but the Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas was saying, they're not a danger, but is anybody surprised that everybody is balking at that after that happened with the Chinese balloon, where it was flying over the U.S. for 2 weeks before they did anything about it?
Well, yeah, I think you're right, and that was ABC's This Week that Mayorkas made that statement. But I think that that may have been before he was aware, or others were aware, that these military installations have had some drones flying over them. That's a little more troubling, especially and airports as well, because suddenly we're talking about aircraft safety, civilian aircraft safety. Did you see that video last week? Amazing video, and I don't know why this person's sitting on the right side of an Airbus A321 American Airlines plane was capturing video with his or her phone. I think it was a male, capturing video of the takeoff. He's got his phone, he's shooting out the window, the right engine, you can see it, and suddenly you see a bird getting sucked into that engine. There's an explosion, the right engine is dead. They turn around and they fly over to JFK. They took off from LaGuardia, so it was a safe, normal kind of thing. But you can imagine that a drone would do the same kind of damage to an aircraft engine, and if you had one on each side, that's a major issue. You're talking about Miracle on the Hudson sort of thing.
Yeah, and could do more because it's metal. At least with it, if it's a bird, it just kind of gets chewed up in the engine, right?
Well, it damaged the engine. It shut it down.
Right.
So you're right. A metal drone would probably just break the thing.
All right. Well, we'll be watching the skies.
Please do.
All right. Talk to you soon, Jim Ryan.
See you, Amy.
All right. Let's get back to some of the stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A prosecutor in New York says the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan might waive extradition from Pennsylvania, where he was arrested. DA Alvin Bragg says that could happen as soon as tomorrow. He also says Luigi Mangione has hired a new lawyer who is a former New York City prosecutor. President-elect Trump and several administration picks have spent time in Maryland for the Army-Navy football game. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, Pentagon pick Pete Hegseth, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and others were at the game on Saturday. So was Marine veteran Daniel Penny, who was acquitted in the subway chokehold trial in New York last week. He was a guest of J.D. Vance. As for the game, the Navy team won it 31-13. Newly sworn-in Democratic Senator Adam Schiff says he has some concerns about President-elect Trump's picks to head the FBI. He says people, including staff in the Biden administration and the first Trump administration, might have something to worry about if former federal prosecutor Kash Patel is confirmed.
This is a conspiracy theorist. It's also someone, I think, who demonstrated, sadly, a principle of the first Trump administration, and that is you rise to the level of your sycophancy.
Schiff says the bigger the sycophant, the higher you rise. For the first time in over a decade, adults in the U.S. have lower rates of obesity.
A study published on Friday